These sections are not in the book. These are created by me, that whatever is discussed, according to that we are dividing into section. The Kaivalya Upanishad doesn't have any section, it is from 1 to 24 or something. All are in the same. 1 to... Oh no, here there are 2 sections. There is 1 shloka in the second section. 1 to 24 is the first khanda. Anyway, for understanding and remembering well, I am dividing it into sections. Namo namaste gurave mahatmane vimukta sangaya saduttamaya nityadvayanandarasasvarupine bhumne sada paradayam budhamne Namaste, namaste, vibho vishvamurti. Namaste, namaste, chidanandamurti. Namaste, namaste, tapoyogagamya. Namaste, namaste, Shruti Jnana Gamya. Namaste, namaste, Tapo Yoga Gamya. Namaste, namaste, Shruti Jnana Gamya. Swarajya Samrajya Vibhutiresha Bhavat Kripa Shri Mahima Prasadat Prapta Maya Shri Gurave Mahatmane Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namaste Stu Punarnamostu Namo Namastestu Punarnamostu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chinmahase Namaha Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate. Hari Om. That's we'll chant, start with the Shanti Mantra. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaah.
Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaah.
Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraah.
Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraah.
Sthirairangaistuštuvamsastanubhih.
Sthirairangaistuštuvamsastanubhih.
Vyashema devahitam yadayuh.
Vyashema devahitam yadayuh.
Swasti na indro vruddhashravah.
Swasti na indro vruddhashravah.
Swasti na pusha vishvavedah.
Swasti nah pusha vishvavedah.
Swasti nastarkshyo arishtanemih.
स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः
स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु
स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
So we will chant the 3 shlokas, 5, 6 and 7. विविक्तदेशे च सुखासनस्थः
विविक्तदेशे च सुखासनस्थः
शुचिः समग्रीवशिरः शरीरः
शुचिः समग्रीव शिरः शरीरः
अत्याश्रमस्थः सकलेन्द्रियाणि
अत्याश्रमस्थः सकलेन्द्रियाणि
निरुध्य भक्त्या स्वगुरुं प्रणम्य निरुध्य भक्त्या स्वगुरुं प्रणम्य
निरुध्य भक्त्या स्वगुरुं प्रणम्य
हृत्पुण्डरीकं विरजं विशुद्धं
हृत्पुण्डरीकं विरजं विशुद्धं
विचिन्त्य मध्ये विशदं विशोकं
विचिन्त्य मध्ये विशदं विशोकम्.
नेक्स्ट वन अचिन्त्यमव्यक्तमनन्तरूपम्
अचिन्त्यमव्यक्तमनन्तरूपम्
शिवं प्रशान्तममृतं ब्रह्मयोनिम्
शिवं प्रशान्तममृतं ब्रह्मयोनिम्
तथादिमध्यान्तविहीनमेकम्
तथादिमध्यान्तविहीनमेकम्
विभुं चिदानन्दमरूपमद्भुतम्
विभुं चिदानन्दमरूपमद्भुतम्
उमासहायं परमेश्वरं प्रभुम्
उमासहायं परमेश्वरं प्रभुं
त्रिलोचनं नीलकण्ठं प्रशान्तम्
त्रिलोचनं नीलकण्ठं प्रशान्तम्
ध्यात्वा मुनिर्गच्छति भूतयोनिम्
ध्यात्वा मुनिर्गच्छति भूतयोनिम्
समस्तसाक्षिं तमसः परस्तात्
समस्तसाक्षिं तमसः परस्तात्.
I read the 3 together because it is ending with the what will he reach, where will he reach. Dhyatva munihi dhyatva gacchati bhuta yonim. This I will explain later. Samastha sakshim tamasa parastat. He goes beyond the darkness of ignorance. Where, what does he become? Samastha sakshim. That he finds that the whole universe is playing as a play of the 3 gunas, you say, or the natural forces. The Prakriti is playing in all variegated manner. That is the whole universe. But I am nowhere touched by anything at all. I am only a witness. So this is where they want to take us through Dhyana Yoga, here at least up to this. Now in the process, beautifully they have gone step by step. So we should understand that also. Although I have explained in the last satsang, let us repeat. There is no harm in repeating even 100 times. I will not repeat in the same manner, of course. The next slide. See, this is preparation for Dhyana Yoga. So in this slide, we are calling it preparation because it is how to sit for dhyana. One is Vibhikta Deshe, means secluded place, but just seclusion of the outer place will not do. Our mind has to be taken away from all the involvement, engagement it was having throughout the day. That's very important. And what is the way of that? You cannot fight with the mind to remain, not to go after the thoughts you were engaged in throughout the day. The only way is to have dhyana mukhinata. These are words you should remember forever. It will remind you where I am missing. Whatever you do, wherever you are, dhyana mukhinata means the aim of our spiritual goal. What is the aim of the dhyana? That should remain like a sun with illumination behind all your thoughts and all. That should not be lost. It is not that when you are working for something you will not focus on that. You will focus on that, fully focus on that. But behind the mind always there will be the ultimate should shine there, like the cynosure. It is like the star shining from behind. If that is there, then the moment you sit for meditation, the mind will automatically come in, because throughout the day you have, although you have been engaged in various work, your mind remains as a witness, a form of witness. The mind remains away from that. That is very important. This is, in a way, it is like when you are going by train, you are sitting near the window. You find everything is passing. Some of the scenes you are seeing, you may be very fond of, very beautiful scene, passing through either sea or lake or mountain and whatnot. You are enjoying the scenery, but you are not getting down there. There is no involvement. You know that the next moment, whatever you are seeing, that will pass, you will move. So there is I don't want to use the word detachment, but in Hindi we say alakpan. That is, you will not get entangled with anything. You are passing through everything, seeing everything. That means your mind is not going out and getting engaged in everything and pulling you there, because every moment the sceneries are changing. So it is like that. Sukhasanastha, this I have explained quite in detail, that the first factor in having good meditation is sukhasanam. That means the posture should be comfortable. If you cannot sit because of your knee pain and all, it is better to lie or sit on a chair. Definitely the sitting on cross-legged position or Padmasana or Vajrasana, this sitting posture is the best because of the bodily factors. But if that gives you pain, the mind will be on if the knee is paining, the mind will be on the knee. It cannot come away from there. So these things intelligently we have to understand. We have to take a position where we will not feel the body. At the same time, we will not sleep also. We will not doze off also. If you have slept enough, then we will not doze. Then comes Shuchihi. This is very important. That Shuchitva, it should be both external and internal. External Shuchitva is keep everything tidy, keep everything orderly. If you don't keep things orderly, then the mind also will remain disorderly. It's very important. See, in taking, just now I remembered, in taking bath, I always keep the two buckets properly aligned, equally distant, equally separated on the slab, and the handles in the same position with the mug at the center. But the moment our working girl comes there and I enter after that, I find that everything is topsitter with one bucket there, one bucket there. It is turned like this, another is turned like this, one having some water. She's a very good worker. But this, all the workers, they do like this. I tell them that whatever form you see, everything, you keep it back in the same position when you are going. My even sitting chair goes away from the table. The moment they clean the room and go away. I find that here is the table and the chair is there. We can easily understand the condition of the mind. Things have to be kept properly, that is external and clean. Shuchitva means external purity. And internal purity means having no sense of blame, Bheda Buddhi. Bheda Buddhi means always we think in terms of I like that, I don't like this, I don't like that person. Always we are having so many differential notions agitating the mind. So all these have to be kept away. If you are not able to purify the mind throughout the day, it becomes difficult. So it is better to have these practices throughout the day. You will not sit for meditation, but the internal and external purity throughout the day we have to practice. Samagriva shiras shariraha. This is the posture of the body, that it should be straight, the whole axis of the body. Generally in Yoga Shastra they will say the axis of the body should face the axis of the universe. You know that in our spirituality we are at the center of the world. Why? Because whatever universe we are perceiving, our whole spiritual science is subjective science, you should understand. The Panchabhuta we talk about, it is because we have 5 indriyas, we have 5 sense organs. If we had 8 sense organs, we would have had 8 Ashtabhuta. So it is based on our perception, our subjective perception. So the world we perceive is in our mind. The world might be outside, but what we are experiencing is what the world is appearing in the consciousness, in the mind. So there we are at the center of the mind, and this axis should point to the pole of our universe. That is the way of expression they have, but it is very important in practicing meditation also. Now if you lie, then it will not be like that, but there also your universe will be according to the axis of your being. There you have to point the axis, but it should be straight going, so that the breathing in and out, it should go freely from the Mooladhara to the Murdhna. It should pass and you should feel the breathing smoothly going up and down like that. So it's very important for having a very peaceful mind, a subtle being. Atyashramastha. As in Sukhasanastha I said, the basic factor there is feeling, a very stable feeling should come. We should sit or lie or do whatever, that asana should be such that we should feel very stable. It is not inertia. When the tamoguna is filtered, what remains of it is the sthiti. Tamoguna represents sthiti. So tamoguna, the good part of it, the pure part of it is a feeling of sthairya, sthiti, a stability. That is why in Bhagavad Gita 17th chapter, Sattvika food, they have said, Rasya snigdha sthira hridya. That's sthira. Hridya, which will make your mind very comfortable, affectionate, and you should feel very stable, sthira. Then comes atyashramastha. Generally atyashrami, I said, it means the Paramahamsa sannyasis. That means those who have crossed all the 4 ashramas, that is brahmacharya, garhastya, vanaprastha and sannyasa. When a person becomes knower, generally he becomes atyashrami. So here atyashramastha cannot be in that sense, because why should you meditate? You have already become a knower, there is no need for meditation. Normally atyashrami means one for whom these 4 ashramas do not have any more importance. He has outlived all the 4 ashramas. Here it means that whichever ashrama you belong to, ashrama means you are belonging to a certain lifestyle, some certain dress code, everything. That you are giving importance to, I am a brahmacharin, I do this, I do that, I do the sanya bandhanam. I am a grihastha, I have to look after my father, mother, I have to see my children can go to America for studying, although we have all the good schools here, we want the children to study in USA, or now many other European countries. All these things the junk we are preserving in our mind. So, atyashramastha means outlive all that. Outlive all that. They will have their own life. They will have the best of life provided you leave them alone to themselves. You have your concern, but you are not to worry so much about that. Your over concern, your attachment spoils the children. They will not grow. If you are not attached to them, you are not clinging that it is mine, they are my children, I must see that this will happen. If you simply look after them well, look into their welfare, they will grow the best. So whatever, that is not only true of children, for everything. If we can play a role with proper vairagya, not that we will not be concerned, we will be concerned about everything. But the proper good instructions will always come from us if we have a little vairagya. So atyashramastha here will mean that we outlive all that I am engaged in, I am seated in. Ashrama means where I am getting the ashraya, where I am seated in. All that has to be forgotten. That is, whatever is around me, all those things have to be forgotten. Sakalendriyani nirudhya. All the sense organs should be plugged. It is not possible. You withdraw your mind from all the sensory desires, enjoyment, everything. Then they will remain quiet. Eyes you can close, but you cannot close your touch sensation. You cannot close down your ears also fully by plugging. You cannot close down your taste. Nothing. But what you can do, you should not think of any sense enjoyment of sensory engagement in the world. Then automatically it will be coming away from the sense dependence. Sakalendriyani nirudhya. Although nirudhya means it is plugging, but it's not possible that way. Bhaktya swagurum pranamya. Bhaktya swagurum pranamya. You see, every time before speaking or before doing anything, we even formally outside also we offer our prostration to the Guru. For any spiritual aspirant, it is extremely important because of two reasons. One is that why do you not, most of the people have a reservation in having somebody as the Guru. It is because of our ego only. For going to the school and learning, we have teacher. Everywhere we have teachers. We don't have any problem. But about our life, we think that I know much better than others. I cannot accept anybody else's instructions. So the ego works there, which prevents us to get the guidance of a Guru. Second point is that this is a path which nobody knows except a person who has crossed this path. Crossed means he has become desireless about the world. It is the desires for worldly situations, worldly things which clouds our intelligence, clouds our decision-making power. So once the mind is free of desires, you will find that clarity dawns every moment. Instantly the decisions will come. Even if you make some mistake, it doesn't matter. It will be corrected in the process. You will not bother so much. Where discussions have to take place, where many people have to be consulted, you will consult. But your intelligence will not be clouded in making a decision. So it is to have faith in a desireless person. When does you go for a Guru, to have a Guru? When do you go and beg initiation from a Guru? Only when you feel that here is somebody who knows better than me where lies my auspicious goal. Get my word? Here is somebody who knows better than me where I am supposed to go, what is my auspicious destination. Unless we have that faith, the Guru Karana will not be full. Say, we can go to listen to lecture of A, B, C, D, 4 saints. We have a decision that A, I can take 50%, B, I can take 70%, is speaking rationally. C, I cannot take even 25%, but still some good points are there, so I go. Now, what will you take from each saint? How much you will take and what you will reject? Who is deciding that? My intelligence, is it not? My experience, my intelligence. Now, if I am deciding about that, then who is the Guru? My ego is the Guru, my intelligence is the Guru. What is the point in accepting somebody else as the Guru? So, the fundamental thing is that once we understand that here is somebody on whom I can have faith, who knows better than me where lies my goal, and he will be able to guide, then we take his refuge. We go to him and we pray that may I be led by you. So if that is the role of the Guru, and in the case of a real Guru, when we stay with the Guru, we understand that how much it is necessary to have the humility. Because we will have difference of opinion. Suppose I am doing something, maybe cooking or something else. We have lot of ego about it. Some people think that I know best. So, in that, when the Guru is saying something, there is a meaning. We have to understand that why he is saying like that. He is not interested in any frivolous things, any useless things. If he is saying something, there must be some point behind that. We will not be able to understand that wholesome view of a knower. Now, if we have the humility to accept his word in whatever he is saying and follow, then immediately or very soon you will be able to know that why he was saying this, and he will be crossing over whatever resistance was there earlier. This, don't think that it is very easy, it is there with everybody. And it is not easy to get over that. We also find, I have written in the book, that for each program, whenever Swamiji had suggested some, say GBGC, that Global Bhagavad Gita Convention, whenever Swamiji had suggested, all of us will be resisting. No, we don't have time, we cannot do this much and everything. Nobody will be there to do all these things. But you will find that if it takes about 4 or 5 months of preparation, after the program is over, everybody, if they look within themselves, they will find that they have crossed over to a next dimension. Because whatever was resisting them was actually not sacrificing for the people. This is the greatest difference between a knower and a non-knower. That the knower only works for the people. His mind is full of others. He is only doing things for the others. So for that he will take to any sacrifice, and he doesn't mind failure also. If we don't succeed, we will not succeed. But all of us are always, our mind is constricted by that. We are not ready to sacrifice to that extent. So we bring up many other excuses, this, that and all. Ye nahi hoga, wo nahi hoga, this cannot be done, that cannot be done, people will not come. People may not come, we may be failure, we may fail also. But what happens is that when we listen to that and by a teamwork, finally it passes through that. When the event is over, we will find that we have got the joy of working together. We have got something of working for the others, the joy of working for the others, and that has promoted us to a next level of mental dimension. It happens only when we humbly accept the Guru's direction and word, otherwise it won't happen. So even in meditation also, Swagurum Pranamya Bhaktya. It is not just lying flat, Sashtanga Namaskara. No. The pranamya is in our mind. that the mind should humbly bow down before what the Guru represents. Bhakti is the ultimate bhakti, is surrender. Bhakti is not going to the temple or chanting a few verses. The real meaning of bhakti is surrender, taking refuge in the Guru. So, when we prostrate before the Guru, it is our refuge that I don't know anything, sir, where I have to go. Please show me the way, I will follow whatever you say. I have told earlier also, before giving me Diksha, Baba told me that if you take Diksha, you have to listen to me, listen to whatever I tell you. So immediately I felt quite shaken by that, oh, I have this, I have that. I mean, whatever I felt about life, if he asked me to get married, or the two things came to my mind, or if he asked me to take sannyasa, both I was against. At that point, I was 23 years old. I thought that about knowledge and whatever it was, I was against all the usually people what they do, that kind of stereotype, anything. So I will not, if he asked me to get married, not that I thought that I will not get married or anything like that, but I will go the natural way, that was my mind. But when Baba told me that you have to listen to me what I say, immediately these two thoughts came, that if he asks me to get married, what will happen? If he asks me to take sannyasa, what will happen? These two are they were the constrictions of the mind. So those constrictions immediately showed their face. It happens always. In the presence of a Mahatma, it happens. Wherever the constrictions are, they will flare up. They will show their face. So, bhaktya means taking refuge. That means I am ready to follow everywhere. That should be there in the mind and intelligence both. Swagurum pranamya, bhaktya pranamya. So, these are all to set your circumstances, your posture, your place, is the preparation for dhyana yoga. Now come to the next stage. In the same shloka, 5, the next stage is focus within. Purify the bhava. What is he saying? Hrit pundarikam virajam vishuddham vichintya madhye vishadam vishokam. Here the words are here and there. Hrit pundarikam madhye vichintya. This is together. Hrit, I have put it above. Hrit pundarikam madhye vichintya. Pundarikam I explained the other day also, it is lotus. Pundarikam means lotus. Now, we always, in spirituality, that lotus symbol is very, very important. I have explained the other day also that it grows in filth from the, what do you call it? Kachada. Huh? No, kachada, the mud. Slush. The lotus is coming out of the slush. And when it comes out, it has its all fragrance and beauty and whatnot. It is very pure, looking also very pure. Now, it is not just pure. The lotus has a purificatory power. That we should understand the greatness here. That from the filth of the slush, it is able to produce the pure lotus. So this truth, which is our own identity, or say Guru, we say that lotus feet. Many people will ask that what is this strange expression that Guru's feet will have a lotus always on it. They don't understand. The lotus feet it's not the feet of the Guru, the physical feet of the Guru. You are bowing down, you are submitting yourself before the Guru, where his feet means where there is a purificatory power. By our submission, by our surrendering to him, when you surrender, will you sit on his head or will you fall on his feet? These are very simple. So we are surrendering to the purificatory power which is there in Guru. That is why we say lotus feet. Like that, Hrit Pundarika means we know those who have discovered their real identity. They know that every human being has the same Brahman in them, same Atma in them, which is the Parakashta of purity, which is, there cannot be anything more pure than that, because it is not even having the division of 2 or 3. That is no or no, nothing. It is non-dual. That is the ultimate of purity we can think of. So that purity is right there in our heart. We don't have to look for anywhere else. We don't have to go anywhere else. And that is why it is there because it is there in our heart, we can experience God also there. Unless the heart, that purity we feel, unless we purify our mind and intelligence and start feeling the purity within, then how can we experience God? Whatever is within us we can experience. We cannot experience anything from outside. If we have to experience purity, that purity must dawn in us. Without that we cannot experience. So that purity is right there in our heart. Heart, why heart? It may not be the physical heart. It is where from our I-ness comes, the am-ness comes. You say that, have you done this? No, I have not done this. Or I am here. We show here in the region of the heart. That means our identity, we generally, emotionally, we associate with this point. So there is our real identity where we have to focus. Because what is the purpose of meditation? Is to discover our real identity. So our focus should be on the Hrit Pundarikam. Now Hrit often we explain as the Buddhi Guha also, in the intelligence also, where the I-ness is coming. It is same. Both are okay. Now, in the next step, you see how the sadhana has changed. Hrit Pundarikam Madhye Vichintya. We have to now bring our sadhana not to arrange the surroundings, not to sitting posture and do pranama, nothing like that. We have to focus within. Vichintya, we will think now. What we will think? Virajam Vishuddham Vishadam Vishokam. Virajam means when there is no desire at all. Raja means, Rajoguna means working, that kartritva and bhoktritva, doership and enjoyership. So Virajam means, that is why before taking up sannyasa, we are supposed to do the Viraja Homam. In that, because during our ritualistic life, we do the Homam where our Upanayana plays a role and our Shikha also should be there for a brahmacharin. And in taking up sannyasa, we are abandoning all those ritualistic orientation. Not orientation, but we don't have the right to do the ritual anymore, truly speaking, for a proper sannyasa. So it is called Viraja Homam, in which we put everything in fire. That is our Upanayana and the sacred thread as well as the Shikha. It is cut and everything is put in fire. That I will not take to any kind of rituals at all. A sannyasin is really speaking not supposed to worship also. That is also a ritual. He is not supposed to worship. He should be completely given to knowledge. Kaivalya Nishtha is a sannyasin's sadhana. So Virajam means no longer given to any desireful activity, yaga, jajja, homa, nothing. Vishuddham. Now, what is Shuddha? Any purity. What is it? What is the meaning of impurity? When something else comes in, we call it, suppose in water, some other material has fallen in, or turmeric has fallen in. That is an impurity. Because it is another thing. Or say some sand is there, or in the milk something else has fallen. Impurity means something different from the original. So Vishuddham means Vishesha Rupena Shuddham. That means absolutely pure. That means there is no divisional anything you can look for. No dividing mark, no identifying, separating, segregating mark. Nothing will be there in the heart where we are thinking of ourselves. That is, I am Bhedahina. I am absolutely unlimited, free. I am not hindered by anything at all. These are the thoughts, the bhavas that should come to our mind. So the sadhana has gone to the physical state, to some partly mental and mostly on the bhava part of it. Vishadam means we may have the doubt that what I am looking for, is it perceptible? In our scriptures also you will find such questions. Will I be able to realize? Is it really perceptible? Is it distinct that when I reach, I will know that I have got it? Or it is only to be told by somebody? That Ramakrishna Dev story, that the child told that, Mother, when I feel like passing urine, please call me. So the mother is saying that, my dear, I don't have to call you, that your feeling, your pressure will call you. Like that, this is also, when you come to know, you will know. So Vishadam means distinctly knowable, intelligible, distinctly knowable. Vishadam, Vishesha Rupena. V means Vishesha Rupena. That means distinctly knowable, identifiable, intelligible. So he is saying that never doubt that you will not be able to know what is your real identity, although it is not in the objective field. All that they will say, going on subtle to subtler things to telling you that you cannot see it as anything different from you. Later on they will say, if something is different from the I, what I am wanting to know is the Atma. How can the Atma be different from me? Atma is what I am. So why I am trying to look into, even in the Hrit Pundarikam, I am trying to find the Atma. No, you will never be successful. You cannot look at it as different, then it becomes an inert object before you. It is not the you. So as long as your tendency to look for something different from you is there, you will not be able to. So that they will say later. Here they are saying that it is clearly knowable. Don't have any doubt at all. Vishokam. There no grief can touch it. If you are depressed, know that the depression must go. Remaining depressed, you cannot sit in meditation. Or in meditation when you sit, if you are depressed before that, the depression will go. It must go. That is what the Narada also said to Sanat Kumara, that you teach me something, you tell me. Then Sanat Kumara said, what do you know? To tell you something, I have to know what you know. Then Narada said he knew everything, all the 4 Vedas, it's a full paragraph, everything of the knowledge he had. But saying at the end, what did he say? Mantravidoham asmi, natu atmavid. I have learnt all the Vedas, everything, only the mantras. But the fundamental truth of Vedas is the Atma. Natu atmavid. I have not known myself. How do you know that you have not known yourself? Tarati shokam atmavid. He himself says that I have heard from the rishis that if you know your Atma, then there will be no further grief at all. That is why Bhagavad Gita starts with the Vishada Yoga. That utilizing the Vishada as a factor, you are getting liberated, getting to yoga, outliving the Vishada. So, we have to focus within on what is Vishokam, where there is no shoka or grief. Then come to the next step. Shloka 6. Now after that, when you have purified your heart, mind, emotion, intelligence, everything, then comes, you go from the limited to the transcendental. There are 2 meanings. Limited means constricted to an expansion, to infinitude, and then finally to the transcendental, which cannot be expressed, indescribable. That is what he is saying. Achintyam abhyaktam anantarupam shivam prashantam amritam brahmayonim tathadi madhyanta bihinamekam vibhum chidanandam adbhutam. Achintyam means it cannot be even thought about, because all our conceptions are within the ken of duality, that I am the knower, I am knowing something. It is not in the non-dual range. The non-dual dimension, that I am the knower and the known, the knowledge, they are all same. So it cannot be expressed by any of the words. It is always indescribable. That is our Upanishads. In other places they say, Yato vacho nivattante aprapya manasa saha. Wherefrom all the words come back along with the mind, not getting a hang of it, not being able to attain it. So it is achintyam. It is not in all the whatever concept we have of Brahman. It is only to make our mind, using those concepts to make the mind further and further mature and finally transcend the duality. But it is, the truth is achintyam, it cannot be thought about. Avyaktam, it is unmanifest also. You cannot see it with the senses or anything. You cannot see that, oh, this is the truth. Oh, Vishnu came here and he is the truth. No. If he had come, that which came before you is not the truth. Anantarupam, he has no definite form, it's all infinite, so many kinds of rupa, everything that we can think of or imagine or if cannot imagine, everything is within him, because the whole universal display is taking place in the consciousness, in the Atma. Shivam, Shivam means auspicious, the most auspicious. Actually Shivam is used for the Atma also. Shiva is also referring to our Atma. When the Shiva is not felt, then it becomes a Shava, it's a dead body. Shivam means the most auspicious. This auspiciousness also is something, it's a kind of emotion to be felt within. Mind you, what we are discussing is how you are going into the dhyana. So when we say Shivam, you have to think of Shivam. What is the meaning of the auspiciousness? Where there is no bheda buddhi, no differential notion, nothing, only Mangala and Mangala. There is no, even if there is a destruction going on, calamitous condition, there is only auspicious. There is nothing inauspicious. When it is in tune with the nature's fundamental law, there is no, that is the auspiciousness. In that process, we may even kill in the world, as Arjuna had to do, but killing also is auspicious there. We may have to do anything that is needed, but if we do it without any desires, being in tune with the natural law, it becomes auspicious. So the feeling of such an auspiciousness should grow within. Prashantam. Prakrishta rupena shantam. It's not the ordinary peace, but prashantam, where there is no disturbance, agitation at all. Amritam means immortality. How can anything be immortal? In this created universe, nothing can be immortal. You go around the whole universe, nothing will be immortal, because the universe has an origin, it has an end. It is always changeful. Whatever we see with the sense, we perceive with the senses, everything is changeful. So, nothing, you cannot find anything Amrita here, immortal here. That means you should know while sitting in meditation that I cannot look for anything in the world. I am looking for Amrita, which is only true about my Atma, which is the substratum of the whole universe. That is the only Atma. It does not have birth, it does not have death, it does not have any change at all. That is the Amritam. Now, each word you have to the moment in dhyana also you are looking for something to come in also. You know that this has no janma, no mrityu. It has no beginning, no end. I am looking for something which does not have any beginning, does not have any end. That means we cannot see it or know it as an object before us. We have to know ourselves. Brahma yonim. This generally Brahma yonim in this, and the next one has Bhuta yonim. It means the same thing. It is beautifully discussed in Mundaka Upanishad 6th verse. Yat tadadreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam achakshushotram tadapani padam nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam tadavyayam yad bhuta yonim paripashyanti dhiraha. He says this last line here. Earlier one, it's all that it cannot be known by any of the senses. It doesn't have by itself also any of the sense organs to do anything. It is beyond time, beyond space, nityam, vibhum, beyond form, sarvagatam, susukshmam. It is all pervading, or the all is appearing in it. All these are done in the first 3 lines. The last line is tad avyayam yad bhuta yonim paripashyanti dhiraha. The dhiraha, the knowers, who sees this avyaya bhuta yoni. This is the important point. Call it Brahma yoni. Brahma yoni means the origin of the creator Brahma. That is called Brahma yoni, the womb of Brahma. And Bhuta yoni means the origin of all the objects here. Actually, we generally use the term Brahmadistamba Paryantam. The world means starting from Brahma, the creator, to the, you can say electron, proton, or anything of the minutest part. Everything is mithya, or everything is projected on the consciousness. So, the creator also is not ultimate. The ultimate is this, our own identity, the Brahman, the Atma, in which the creator along with his creation is appearing to be. He mentions there the very important point, avyayam yad bhuta yonim. Avyaya means changeless. In this world, will you find any cause which is producing an effect without changing itself? Anything that produces something, by that the cause, the source will undergo a change. If you give some rice from your vessel, the rice in your vessel will be less as it grows outside. When the sun is radiating the light, the hydrogen amount, the proportion of hydrogen in the sun is getting reduced and the helium is getting increased. Anywhere in the world, anything is produced by the law of causality, the cause undergoes a change and produces the effect. This whole cause and effect chain is running within the duality, where everywhere cause and effect. In the ultimate truth, there cannot be any cause at all. So, when the whole universe is seen, dancing, there is no change in the substratum consciousness in the Atma. The whole universe is projected in the Atma, but there is no change in the Atma at all. It is like a film. You are seeing a war is going on. So many things are happening in the cinema. You are getting engaged with whatever you are seeing. The moment the light goes off, the screen is as it is. No change. Although the screen was the substratum for everything, no change has taken place in the screen. It is like that. Tad avyayam yad bhuta yonim paripashyanti dhiraha. This is also a word you should remember. Avyayam yad bhuta yonim. That the entire world is running by causality. But there cannot be any cause for that. Because if that is a cause, then again you will ask, what is the cause of that? It is not in the objective field at all. The subject is the ultimate substratum in which the causal chain of the universe is happening. So we have to transcend the causality. Mind you, these are all written thousands and thousands of years ago. We cannot say these are all prehistoric. In Kathopanishad, repeatedly I pointed out this, that Nachiketa is asking, if you know anything beyond time, space, causality, you tell me that. And when Yamaraja is saying that it has no cause and it cannot cause anything also. The moment you say that it is a causeless cause of the universe, no, it is not true. It cannot be. The moment it gives rise to the universe, you have to you can ask that what is the cause of that? If God has created universe, then who has created God? It's a valid question. So actually nobody has created anything at all. The whole universe just appears on the consciousness and also goes away, just like in dream. Tathadi madhyanta vihinamekam. And it is not having any adi, madhya and anta. It does not have any beginning, any middle, any end, nothing. It is beyond time, beyond change. But ekam. Now when you say ekam, we think that, it is ekam. Again we get into an objective consciousness that ekam means one. Actually it is not ekam even. It is transcending the one also. It is non-dual. That is why it is called non-dual. It is not monistic. It is non-dual. It's not monism. Our spirituality is non-dual. Because it is transcending the concept of one even. When you have the concept of one, you have the concept of many. Vibhum, which has become everything. Chidanandam. That means it has two identifiable property. As they have said, Vishadam, you can identify. What are the identifiable marks in it? It is Chit. That means it is consciousness. It is Chit. That means it knows, it has that knowingness in it. And along with that comes the Ananda. Ananda is not same as Sukha. In Sukha, Dukkha, suffering, happiness, everywhere, this Ananda will always be there. It is the fundamental vibration through which the whole creation gets created, the whole creation takes form. So it comes along with the Chit. That is why we always say that the source of joy is within, it is not outside. Whenever we are getting joy by seeing something or sensing something, testing something, we immediately associate that sukha with the vastu, with the object. There lies the fault. If you can sink your mind a little, suppose something is giving you the sukha. Now, if it becomes vastu dependent, that is object dependent, that only when that food is there I will become happy. So if it's not there, I will not be happy. So sukha dukkha will alternate. But if we can understand that the sukha is oozing from within, it is welling forth from within, that although the object has been a secondary, has been a cause for giving me the sukha, The sukha is a feeling inside, in our mind. It is in our antakarana. So if you can detach from the object and focus on that sukha, then you will see that the sukha remains even if the object goes. So dhyana is necessary to identify that it's all within. By that what happens? We lose the dependence on the objects. We become Atma Nirbhara, that means our self-dependent, our Ananda, our everything. We will no more depend on the objective world. So these are small things are there, but as our awareness grows, we will find that everything can be looked into that form, and the whole life will become Atma Nirbhara. Depending on ourselves, everything is from within. We don't have to be a slave to the world. We don't have to be a slave to the objects. Chidanandam arupam. Actually, it is beyond all rupa. Arupam means which is formless, but it is formed as well as formless. It is transcendental. Adbhutam, there is no parallel. We cannot have any parallel to understand it. It is achintyam also, we cannot think about it. Here actually we tried to show in the diagram how much it will be clear, we don't know. We are not very expert in technological aspects. What is happening is the focus on the Hrit Pundarikam, that is on the lotus in the heart. But as the thought process takes to all these universal things, Achintam Abhyaktam Anantarupam Shivam Prashantam Avritam Brahma Yonim. If these bhavas you generate within, the Dehatma Buddhi will go down. See the lines of the figure we tried to, but if we completely take it away, then the picture you will not be able to see anything. So we have left something. But it will slowly get faded. Even the lotus in the heart also will get faded. What will remain is just this same, everywhere the same. The sameness will remain, nothing else. So by constantly thinking of these transcendental qualities, we are outliving the Dehatma Bodha and expanding the mind to get merged with the cosmic mind, and finally to outlive that also, to remain stable in the truth consciousness. That is why we have titled it as Limited to Transcendental. Go to the next slide. From form to formless, Ishta Dhyana to witness of all. Now in this previous, in the 6th shloka, they have already given the formless, the meditation. But our Shastras are generally very, very affectionate to us. They know our lack of capacity and we will not be able to do properly. So generally, by and large, people are given to formed worship. So he has taken to one formed worship here, that Uma Sahayam means it is the Parameshwaram, the Shiva. Generally we consider the Shiva Parvati together. There are various interpretations, but the fact is that, the fundamental fact is that we are thinking of a formed Ishtadeva. So I have written Ishta Dhyana to witness of all. It is enough if we do Ishta Dhyana also, there is nothing wrong. Uma Sahayam, Parameshwaram, the highest Ishwar, Prabhum, who is the Lord of all. Trilochanam Neelakantham Prashantam. Generally Shiva we think of 3 eyes, and Neelakantha, that there is interpretation for everything. Next day if possible I will do. Prashantam, he is a Shantamurti. Neelakantham means during that churning of the ocean, milky ocean. Demons and devas, they were churning, and from the demons' activity, lot of venom came out. So what will they do with the venom? Everywhere, that venom is going to destroy the whole world. So they came running to Shiva, and Shiva drank that venom, did not allow it to go in, he held it here, and he became Nilakantha. There are various subtle meanings in that also. You will find it everywhere, but I will also discuss later on. The fundamental point is we are thinking of our Ishtadeva in a formed manner. Dhyatva munihi gacchati bhutayonim. Even if you do dhyana there, you can cross over the form, everything, and get to that bhuta yonim, that is the causeless, that is the transcendental truth. Samasta sakshim, where he becomes only the witness, tamasah parastat. Normally in worshipping the form, you get stuck at the form. That you have a darshan of the Ishtadeva and you stop there. Here he is saying that by worshipping that also, if you do the dhyana properly and introduce whatever has been said in the previous shlokas, then from that also you will proceed from the Ishta, the formed Ishta, to the Sakshi Bhava, the witness of all, to that ultimate truth. Tamasa parastad, going beyond your ignorance. See, here also, little time is there. Here also, I want to point out something. Why our Ishta worship, we do not get success, we are not able to attain. Generally, we try to think of the Ishta with our thoughts. We can think of the Vishnu, suppose, or Shiva. His face is like this, hands are like this, and we try to focus on the Rupa. But what are we doing? We are actually using our thoughts to create the Ishta. There we are making a fundamental mistake. We should try to work on our bhava. Bhavehi vidyate devo. That in our bhava, that what bhava Shiva is representing. It is not the murti with the thoughts and all you construct the murti. You bring in the bhava of the Shiva. In any Ishta worship, try to work on your bhava and make the bhava of what are we worshipping, what is the bhava. Bhava means your mind is taking that shape. By only adjusting the thoughts, you are artificially constructing something. It will not give you the corresponding darshana or the experience you want. To experience the Ishta, you must develop what is the main bhava you have, that bhakti bhava, that generate the more and more devotional bhava in us. And that devotional bhava will take you to the ultimate goal. So it's a very common mistake we make, that we use our thought processes to make it. We should use our bhava to make the ultimate. The moment, that is why even thinking of the ultimate truth, we have to work on the bhava and make that bhava expand to infinite level. Then we will be successful. Just show the next one. See, when we look into the layers of the mind, as we look within, we discover many things. Here, this is not a very good representation, but you will be able to understand that vrittis, thoughts, ideas, concepts, they are fragmented, separated, easily identifiable. You can understand the mind. I am thinking of my office, I am thinking of the mother, I am thinking of my friend, or the travel somewhere, the place I am thinking of. They are individually separated. They are the normal thoughts or vrittis, concepts, ideas, etc. The next, underneath that vritti is the bhava, which we call the mindset, the patabhumi of the thoughts. the unfragmented backdrop, the F is missed, from where vrittis emerge. That is, all the thoughts, concepts, everything is coming out from that bhava. Suppose the bhava is liberal, then only liberal thoughts will come. If the bhava is selfish, only selfish thoughts will come. So whatever the bhava is the main generation, the generating substratum from where the thoughts are radiated. Just like if you have a red hot ball, from where red radiation will come. If you heat it further, it becomes blue. The blue radiation will come. Like that, our mindset, whatever mindset is there, according to that, our thoughts will be there. So we have to work on the mindset to purify the mindset, to purify the bhava, so that the thoughts also become automatically pure. We don't have to work on each thought like that. We have to work only in purifying the mindset. As is the mindset, so are the thoughts. Now below that bhava, from the bhava, what are we doing? We are now in these shlokas, we are working on the bhava by making it infinite, transcendental, immortal, all these thoughts. What are we doing? We are changing the bhava and bringing the bhava closer and closer to the truth. Now below is that is the real truth, where from the bhavas also are coming, the thoughts also are coming. This is what we call the conscious space or chidakasha, the substratum for everything that appears in the mind. So what we want to do in meditation is to reach that substratum, the chidakasha. For that, first we try to purify the vrittis or keep them away. Then purify the bhavas first, so that the vrittis also are under control. Then completely make the bhavas transparent to reach that conscious state. The next slide also. So the discovery is, as we look within, that the thoughts are coming from the bhava. They are determined by the bhava. Whatever bhava we have, thoughts will be like that. Both thoughts and bhava are colored by raga dvesha. You call them raga dvesha, call them desire, call them veda buddhi, anything. The impurity is all from there. So thoughts and bhava, normally they are all impure. Because the bhava is impure, the thoughts are also impure. So don't struggle with the thoughts, try to purify the bhava by constantly interacting with the concept of the soul, by constantly thinking of something which is unaffected, pure, unchanging soul. That is our Atma. So by constantly interacting with those concepts, the bhava will get purified. Chidakasha, Atma or conscious space, is not touched by this raga dvesha. It is not touched by any of the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas at all. Bhava Shuddhi connects the thoughts to Chidakasha, the Atma. By purifying the bhava, what happens is the vrittis, the thoughts are also getting purified by the Chidakasha. Then even if you are not meditating, you will be able to be aware of the Chidakasha, the soul, the Atma. This is what we want to attain. That we cannot throughout the day meditate, but we can purify our mind, and constantly interacting with the Atmic qualities, we can get to a purified level where whatever we do, the Atmic awareness we will not miss. For that, next slide. We just tried to show something that on the left, I think there it is on the top. It is the water is impure, so you cannot see the bottom. There is no wave here. Although the waves have gone, the thoughts are not there. You are thoughtless maybe, but still you will not be able to know the Chidakasha or the Atma, because the mind is impure, the water is impure here. See in the other one, although there are ripples you see, but Even the ripples are also shining and you can see the bottom absolutely clearly. The bottom can be seen, everything can be seen. And the ripples are also they are also like as if they are also radiating light. So this is what we want, that pure mind itself is the self. When bhava is purified, vrittis also will be purified. Atma will be known in every vritti, in every thought, as Kena Upanishad says, pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate amritam. Pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate. When a person realizes his immortality, amritatvam, when we realize our immortality, when we know this truth or the consciousness or the Atma in every perception, it will be known. Then we become immortal. How do we become immortal? Because we understand these vrittis are only playing in my own real identity, which does not undergo any change at all. It doesn't have birth, doesn't have death, nothing at all. We will stop today. I am a little hurriedly done. Let me see. Somewhere again next day we will do a little more about all these things. But here the fundamental point which we must, I think in next day I will take some from Yoga Sutras about Vritti Nirodha and all, that to emphasize that ultimately it is the purity and finding Atma everywhere, in every thought, every conception, everywhere, not to miss the Atma. We cannot miss it because that is our fundamental consciousness. No experience we can have without that. But always our focus is on small things which are revealed by the Atma. So we miss that, the revealer. We are missing the revealer. Our focus is on the revealed. But the focus has to be taken away from the revealed and put on the revealer. Then we will not miss Atma any time at all. This is the fundamental secret. So that same thing we have to do in our Ishta worship also, that we try to not to construct with the thoughts artificially, but to change our bhava, and with that bhava we generate the Ishta. And when that bhava becomes pure, then the Ishta becomes the Atma. Actually in Ishta Darshana also what we are experiencing is the Atma alone. But because of the backlog because of the prior samskara of our intelligence and mind, we impose that murti on it, impose that form on it. There is nothing wrong. It is also the Atma Sakshatkara. Because the darshana will become powerful only when we become that Deva. That means the Atma reveals through that Rupa, particular Rupa. So, always through everything, let us try to reform our bhava. That is what is needed. Whatever we do is not important. With what bhava we do, that is the most important. We should focus on that, and we should try to have the sadhana of bhava shuddhi. That also I was supposed to discuss, but we will do it. It is in Bhagavad Gita, 17th chapter. The 3 kinds of tapas. The last one is bhava shuddhi. That is the manasa tapas. Okay. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha.
Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha.
Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha.
भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः
स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः
स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः
व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः
व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः
स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः
स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः
स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः
स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः
स्वस्ति नस्ताक्ष्योरिष्टनेमिः
स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः
स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु
स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः